Iowa now, I said it coming into the game, Iowa sits in the driver's seat now. This Ohio State team, or this Wisconsin team is not going to beat Ohio State, so they're going to take another L. So Iowa has one loss to play with the rest of the way.
Correct.
And they'll be favored in probably every game, I would think. They're going to be favored next week. They'll be favored against Rutgers and Northwestern and Illinois, and probably favored at Nebraska. So if they go 4-1 the rest of the way, there's going to. I still think somebody's going to grab them and get them. They'll just. It's a law of averages, right?
They could run the table.
Yeah, we could. It wouldn't surprise me if they ran the table, and then you're going to Indianapolis to face maybe Michigan.
And you win that.
I jokingly asked Todd Barmelkamp tonight when we were sitting there waiting for the players and coaches what the line would be for Iowa, Michigan, and Indianapolis, and he said 27.
It was Michigan was favored by, I think, 30?
33 today.
Okay, 33. Boy, 27 is pretty high, but
they put 52 points up today
against that Iowa defense. Yeah, they 30. They beat them by 39 2 years ago, so that was a really good defense in 21. Last question for me, Tom.
Yeah,
I asked this to Mark Rogers on Tuesday, and preseason I would have told you, yes, absolutely, it's obvious. Don't even need to talk about it. If they're 11-1, assuming they keep winning this way, because the way they play right now and the injuries they're dealing with, they're going to keep winning games, Tom, but they're going to win a lot of close games and ugly games. It's not just if they're playing Northwestern, they're going to be blowing through those teams. So those are going to be ugly wins, just like this one was. They may lose one in there, but if they do run the table and they're 11-1, are they in a position where they win the Big Ten title, they're into the 14 playoff? What does the committee do if they're 12-1 Big Ten champs with a win over either Ohio State, Penn State, or Michigan, given the 31-0 blowout against Penn State, given the schedule and given how they play? What does the committee do?
They'd have to put them in the playoff. The Big Ten champion is going into the playoff.
So let me ask you this: 12-1 Big Ten champion Iowa, right, with a win, singular win over Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan. You're telling me they're going to get in over potentially an 11-1 East team that doesn't make the championship? What if Michigan has one loss but loses out in the tiebreak?
How about this, which would really mess it up? It's Iowa 11-1, Penn State finishes 11-1, but out of the money.
Yeah.
And Michigan, then I think you've got an argument with Penn State. I think you do, ahead of Iowa.
And the schedule is
drastically. But then do you say Michigan's out because Iowa beat them head to head, or Ohio State's out because Iowa beat them head to head? Probably. So you take Iowa and Penn State.
I think it's
that win over mighty Iowa.
People may laugh at us for having this conversation, Tom. I think it's a plausible conversation to be had, and I think given the schedule and given this win tonight, it's time for Iowa fans to start rooting against Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan to rack up as many losses as possible before December. So
we'll have one of those teams getting a loss next week.
Yep. Penn State, Ohio State next week. So
yep.